From quiz shows to comedy to heartfelt interviews, he has been the kind of entertainer who could brighten a whole room just by walking into it. Audiences trust him, families adore him, and his laugh, somehow both chaotic and charming, has become one of the most recognizable sounds on television. But behind that laughter, behind the bright studio lights and polished jokes, Bradley has been carrying something far heavier than most people ever realized. Over the past year, those closest to him began noticing subtle changes. He still joked around, still made others smile, still carried that warm, familiar energy, but when the cameras turned off, exhaustion clung to him in ways he couldn't hide. His schedule was packed tighter than ever. His responsibilities kept piling up, and private worries he rarely spoke about had begun to weigh on him. For a man who had always prided himself on being strong, dependable, and endlessly positive, admitting that he felt overwhelmed was terrifying. And then came the moment that changed everything. Not a dramatic breakdown, not a public confession, but a quiet evening at home when he finally opened up to the person who mattered most, his wife, Donna Darby. Donna has always been Bradley's anchor. While he lights up televisions across the nation, she keeps his world steady behind the scenes. Friends often say she brings balance to his whirlwind of a life. She has a calm presence, a warm heart, and a way of grounding Bradley when everything around him feels like it's moving too fast. So when Bradley sat down with her that night and finally let his guard down, it wasn't just a conversation, it was a turning point. He talked about the pressure he'd been feeling, the long filming days, the constant traveling, the expectations that came from being one of television's most beloved personalities. He admitted he'd been struggling with the idea of getting older in such a public role, worrying whether he could keep up the pace he'd maintained for decades. He spoke softly, almost apologetically, about how his confidence had taken unexpected hits, how his health concerns had lingered at the back of his mind, and how he had been trying to hide the emotional strain from everyone, including her. Donna listened, and as she did, the emotions she'd been bottling up finally surfaced. She cried, not out of fear, but out of love, out of relief that he finally trusted her with the truth, out of sadness that he had been carrying such a heavy burden on his own, but most of all, out of hope, because speaking the truth meant they could finally begin healing together. Those who know Bradley and Donna say that moment brought them closer than they've been in years. The honesty between them created a new kind of closeness, a deeper understanding, and a renewed appreciation for the partnership they've built, one filled with loyalty, humor, and an unmistakable tenderness. Bradley's friends weren't surprised that Donna became his biggest supporter through it all. She has always been the steady hand guiding him back toward balance whenever life pulls him off center. But this time she took an even more active role, helping him reevaluate his commitments, encouraging him to carve out time for rest, and reminding him that being human doesn't make him weak. Together, they decided he needed to slow down. Bradley quietly scaled back certain projects, choosing to prioritize his well-being over the relentless pace he had grown accustomed to. He began spending more time at home, more time with family, and more time focusing on the parts of life that didn't come with cameras or scripts or studio audiences. And in the process, something remarkable happened. He began to rediscover himself. There were still tough days, days when the pressure returned, days when he worried about disappointing people, days when he felt guilty for taking time off. But with Donna beside him, reminding him that he deserved peace just as much as anyone else, he learned to give himself permission to rest. Their friends often describe them as a pair who balance each other beautifully. Bradley brings the laughter, Donna brings the calm. Bradley fills a room with energy. Donna fills his life with stability. And this journey reminded both of them that their love isn't just built on happy moments, it's built on standing together during the difficult ones. Fans who heard Bradley's emotional truth responded with overwhelming kindness. Messages poured in from across the country, stories from people who had been feeling the same pressures, the same fears, the same emotional weight. Many said his honesty helped them feel less alone. Others thanked Donna for being the quiet strength behind one of television's most beloved personalities. Some even joked, in the way fans do, that Bradley deserved a holiday with endless sunshine, a beach chair, and absolutely no responsibilities. For Bradley, seeing that support was a powerful reminder that vulnerability didn't make him any less respected. It made him more human, more relatable, more understood. And in an industry that often demands perfection, being real was a refreshing change. Those closest to him say he's slowly getting his spark back. Not the rushed, stressed, stretched-thin version of the spark, but the real one, the one that comes from a place of peace, balance, and genuine joy. He laughs more freely, he speaks more openly, and he appreciates the simple moments in a way he hadn't in years. His journey is far from over, but he now walks it with a clearer mind and a fuller heart. And every step he takes, Donna is there, encouraging him, supporting him, reminding him of just how strong he truly is. Their relationship, strengthened by this chapter, stands as an example of what love can look like when life becomes complicated. Not flashy, not dramatic, just steady, patient, and deeply loyal. While Bradley continues adjusting to a new, healthier pace, he's learning something important. That true strength isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's about embracing help when you need it. It's about trusting the people who love you. And it's about knowing that even the brightest entertainers sometimes need a moment to dim the lights and breathe. As he moves forward, Bradley does so with a renewed sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the career that brought him joy, for the fans who supported him through every chapter, and most of all, for the woman who has stood by him through every high and every heartbreak. No matter what challenges lie ahead, one thing is certain. Bradley Walsh isn't facing them alone. And with Donna by his side, his partner, his confidant, his steady source of light, he is stepping into this next chapter stronger, wiser, and more grounded.